What's up? What's up? What's up? My name is Crack Baby Go. Good morning, good evening, good whatever the hell you are. Give me a second. I am about to throw on my beautiful face or my troll looking face. I don't care what somebody think about my face. I know my face look sometimes, yeah, especially that early morning face. Yeah, so I was just at a panel and was sitting backstage just waiting to get on. And then I'm like, one we have one guy that just I'm like, bro, like this is like the black guy that was just steady going on and on and on. I'm like, now I see why slave masters wanted to keep some black people as slaves because they just won't shut the hell up. Like, oh, but like seriously, like it's just like when you're trying to have a good debate, it's the point is to let everyone get their thoughts across. But when you start debating ignorant people that don't want to shut up and let your point come across, and so they just go all berserk and like, and like this dude wouldn't shut the hell up for almost 10 to 20 minutes. I'm like, hey, yo, why are you steady just opening your mouth? Shut the hell up and let everybody freaking get to what they need to be saying. But no, you can't let nobody get a word in because you want to say something. Mister, I can't let nothing go until I get my word in. Like I swear. Let me see if I can make this chair a little bit taller. I tried to make it. I'm a little short, somewhat short. Oh, all right, maybe this look a little better. Hell no, it looks just the same. Anyways, like I said, what's up? My name is Crackberry Go. This channel, if you've never been my channel before, I've only made one other video. Other ones just restreams of stuff I was at, people's panels I was on. You can go look at that craziness on all the restreams that I was on for the panels. If you want to know, I can't get crazy, I can't get wild, i.e., why my name is Crackberry. But for real, if anybody want to come on and join and have a good conversation, I'm all ears. I'm all open. We can talk about whatever conversation you want. We can talk about Israel. Tired of hearing about Israel and everything else. But fine. We could talk about Israel. We could talk about aliens because I prefer aliens than Anunnaki stuff and just the deep theological stuff. Uh, Going towards that and just even within Christianity in general. Like the panel I was on, the topic was, and I don't want to get it wrong, so let me look on my tablet so I can be sure I got what the topic was exactly. But the topic I believe was uh is it illogical to believe in to be a Christian? Let me see if I got the title correct. I do not want to tell nobody no wrong things, and not yeah, it's illogical to believe in Christianity. Two people were going against each other, of course, and the guy that was supposed to be standing up for Christianity freaking was horrible at standing up for Christianity. At any point, even if he had to concede on some things, he failed on all levels. I wanted to choke slam this guy so bad on the ground. I was like, no way, Jose. Who the hell let this guy be up here and be the representative of Christianity? First of all, I don't understand. I'm a Christian and I don't understand Christianity and why we have so many denominations. Like, bro, first of all, we can't concede on what the hell we believe on as a community, as Christians. You got Orthodox and Catholics thinking they're the Almighty. That if we don't listen to them, we should follow their rules and their laws and yada yada yada. Bro, give me a break. Like Cry me a river. I'm not about to say no. I'm not kissing no Pope foot. I'm not kissing no Pope hand. You got me messed up if you thinking I'm about to go kiss some old man's hand because somebody said that he's ordained by God. But really, it's probably just some group of guys behind a freaking door making up the decision saying who is our next prospect. Do we want to pander to the black people? Do we want to just stick with all white? What do we want to do? Do we want to stick to somebody in our country, in our region? Or do we want to go to somewhere in America and what they do, they go to America? I don't have no shame, no hatred about it whatsoever. I'm just saying that it's kind of wild for the fact that how Christianity can have so many sectors within it, and all the sectors think differently about every part of the Bible. You got some that think the Bible as it is now is good as gold. You got other people that excuse me. You got other people that just think oh there's more books of the Bible and there's more story that's missing out of this Bible. And only reason we got these Bible verses in this, I mean these Bible books of the Bible and the Holy Bible is because in the Nicaeum they came together and said, hey, let's do this now. We don't I want this now, but I want this now. We can't have this because it might turn their mind to think about something else other than what they're supposed to think about. Which, truthfully, if they allowed everybody to read everything, then it probably would come together like a smooth puzzle. But instead, we got different holes in the book. We got different everything, and so it makes people think that Christianity is illogical, and that which some stuff is like, yes, it's hard to understand, but I believe in faith, not by sight. And one thing I know is Jesus said, "On the way to the Father is through Him." So you know what? I don't care about anything else. And He said, "Don't blaspheme the Holy Spirit." So you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to blaspheme the Holy Spirit. And I know that on the way to God is through Jesus Christ. Other than that, I don't care what the hell they want to talk about. Yes, there's discrepancies in the Bible. Do every book, do every book or story tell you every detail from every minute to every day? No. But see, problem with Christianity is that whenever you go ask a pastor, hey, so when it says that there were Cain, that God said, hey, Cain said, hey, what about those other people over there? And God like, hey, you my homie, I'm gonna mark you so they know you can't mess with me. Well, rewind. Um, who those other people? Now, see, Christianity, they'll say it's Nephilim or something like that, but no, 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 no. And the Bible would have clearly said that it was Nephilim or Seraphim, or I know I ain't pronounced that right. It would have said something to say that, hey, that they were something that was not of humanly kind. So if they said so, now we got the point that okay, it wasn't Nephilim. Okay, it was humans. Then what other humans? Because the Bible says that only one was Adam, Eve, Abel, Cain, and Abel. I mean, they could have some other relatives, but no, because at that point it said it was Adam, Eve, Cain, Abel. Once Abel was killed and Cain left, they have Adam and Eve and more kids. So now we go down the line of art. We got Cain. Cain leaves. He meets a woman. Where did he meet that woman? Huh? Now, my theory on this, I'm not saying I'm an expert whatsoever, but my theory is that all religions have puzzle pieces that come together, and some tell the same story but mixed up differently to tell whoever was in the area, but there was multiple civilizations. I know that's not a Christian thing to say. Well, who are you to tell me that I'm not a Christian just because I think differently than you? So, like I was saying, I believe that most of the religions have some type of connection whatsoever. Now, when I say like, I'm talking about, all right, so hold on. Before I get too deep in this. I do want to allow people to come up and I do want to allow people to come up here if anybody does want to come up here and put down their opinion because I'm not going to make it seem like my opinion is the all being opinion. But yeah, so my opinion on everything is that sorry, I thought I sent the stream here on it. All right, there it goes. Now, all right, so my opinion is that all religions kind of connect to each other in a way. So for instance, you got like how should I say? All right, because you got like the Sumerians and Sumerians in the Mesopotamia area. They were just like they were supposedly like the earliest civilization that we know of. At that time, they can track back their kings, and even some of their kings lived thousands of years. I get on that part later. I'm just sticking to the part about how that there was already people on the earth when Adam and Eve was created, because even the Bible says that it was other people. It just people want to add their own twist because they think it's going to downgrade Christianity, which it won't downgrade Christianity. It actually would enhance Christianity if you express the truth about what the hell is going on in the Bible instead of saying like, oh well, yeah, I came went to go expound some people, but those were Nephilim. Shut the hell up. Those wasn't no dang Nephilim. Those were dang freaking other civilizations, and like I said, there's proof that even in the Sumerian time, there was Sumerian in Mesopotamia that was one of the oldest civilizations. And hell, I mean, even in the Bible, it out of nowhere, we find out that hold on, Rich, can you show me your face in the back real quick? You can come up, but I need you to show me your face. Can you hear me, Rich? I'm not. I think you're on mute, but I'm not sure. All right. Well, hopefully Rich comes back up. But like I said, there even in the Bible there was a point where the Jewish people just had a disagreement with sorry about that. The Jews had a disagreement with the Sumerian people. They had beef with the Sumerian people to where they didn't like them whatsoever. But and so it's like that, or even like we can go as far as Gaza. How where when in the Bible it says God told them to go as far as Gaza, which means that it was already established before they even got to their land. Now I'm not bringing that up for the freaking fight crap but between the war on Israel and Palestine. No. I ain't bringing that up crap up for nothing. I'm just saying that yes, as a Christian, I can understand that there are some word crap within the Bible, but I feel like, for instance, let's go to the flood. People think that the flood says that when the flood happens that it was supposed to kill out everything. No. It said all the creations of God's creation, not nothing that the Nephilim created, not nothing that the fallen ones created, every creation that God created. But people, then you ask, well, okay, if it was supposed to kill out all of the Nephilim and all of the evil creatures, then how come David fought the Goliath? And then not only did David fight the Goliath, David also freaking had four other freaking stones ready for who? For four more giants that freaking had their kingdoms. Even further in the Bible, it shows that David went around taking the foreskin off of like 100 giants. I want to let me look up that to verify because I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I promise and I believe it was he cut off the foreskin of 100 or the fatness, whatever the hell. He cut off the turtlenecks. Okay, he cut off the turtlenecks to give it to freaking Solomon. Or was it? Yeah, Solomon, King Solomon. I'm sure. Cut. Hold on. Um, I hate autocorrect with a passion. I know this is a word question that I'm asking Google, like, hey, art, my bad. I thought it was art. So I'm in correction. And it wasn't Solomon, it was Saul. I knew it was one of those S names I just can't remember. Solomon was his dang son. Duh. Okay, my bad. But it was actually 200, 200 Philistines. He killed 200 Philistines and brought back their foreskin. I could have sworn he fought more giants than just maybe. I'm not saying I'm perfect on my knowledge at all, so I'd rather get it correct while I'm on this live right now. I'm sorry you can't see what I'm saying. One, I'm on my phone right here. Two, I'm on my tablet right here. Three, neither my phone nor my tablet allows me to show my screen whatsoever. So I apologize. Work with a brother. Work with a brother. Okay. Maybe if I could find a way to hold this thing up a little bit better, so you can see me. To all right. So let me see. Okay. All right. So I was right the whole time because losing part of King David killed 200 Philistines and brought back their foreskins to fulfill the king's demand for proof of his victory. But see, that's not answering my question, and I hate when they do this because I know it was to date and to wed his Saul's wife, but see, they're only drinking up. I hate I hate the internet with a passion. But I could have sworn David. I thought it. Yeah, it says David took giants foreskin, so I was right. So if the flood was supposed to kill everything, and I mean everything, everything, then how come there was many more giants after the flood? Hmm. Yeah, things that make us go, hmm. Like I'm not saying I'm a Bible scholar, but I know when I read the Bible and as a Christian, I'm like, something doesn't sound right. You can't fool me. Like I'm not crazy. And I'm not trying to make this a biblical uh context as far as the live stream. I wasn't even trying to make it biblical at all. I was just, you know, I went off of a rant from something I heard earlier, and that led me down that road because with the illogical suit that they were trying to throw. Um, Sorry you can't see my ugly face. My phone is dying, and it needs to be charged. Other than that, I'm not gonna be able to talk to none of y'all. I mean, I probably could switch to my tablet, but hell, that's barely charged as it is too. So we're gonna do what to do, and I'm sure that I can still try to entertain y'all. Maybe this is better. You can see me a little bit. Oh, sorry, my internet, the location I'm at decided to go wonky a little bit. So but yes. How is everybody doing tonight? What's up? Like I said, my name is Crack Baby Doe. This is just an open panel. Anybody can jump on, but before you can jump on stage, I need to see your face in the background. I do not want to take chances. I've seen what some of you weirdos like to do, and you like to show yourself doing some things or showing people doing some things like riding huge strap-ons and stuff like that. And the only reason that's the first thing that comes on my mind is because last night I was on a panel and somebody decided to bomb the panel with a video of a guy going up and down on a huge, and when I say huge, I don't want you to think I'm underestimating on what huge is. It was like, yeah, that's how big the trunk of the strappy was. It was like, it was huge. Like, I can't even, um, um I don't even know how else to explain that. That was, it cursed my mind. It cursed my brain. It took me into a new era of not understanding what the fuck had just happened. So the reason I say I want to see a face before you just jump on the panel is because I don't want that to happen on my channel. I don't want that. I don't want to have to delete a video just because somebody want to act like a weirdo or anything like that. Like I'm just literally just like I said, I'm not trying to play no games when it comes to shit like that. Cause I didn't realize people was that much of a weirdo online to where they try to bomb somebody's live because either they don't like their something that they said or whatnot, and so they have to bomb somebody's stuff to say, "Oh yes, I'm gonna give it to him. He's gonna take this." Pause, because that sound kind of wild, but you know what I'm trying to say. So if you're thinking like that, then your mind is in the gutter like me. I'm just gonna say that all back. But like I said, it's a beautiful night. I just want to really hear what's on people's minds and thoughts. What grinds your gears? What has you kind of frustrated right? What makes you just think, why the hell do I keep seeing this, dealing with this, or something like I like at that point where you just feel like, oh, I can do better than this shit, or we can do better as a country or as a community. Because, in my opinion, there's a lot. Like, first of all, I know everybody's not going to agree with this or even like this, but we need to officially shut down the border and make sure nobody can come in no matter what. I don't care if you're coming here on a visa or green card, whatnot. We need to shut the border down and get shit under control in our own country because right now we're just letting shit go to waste. At this point, I don't know what the hell is going on. Like, yes, I voted for the person that's in office, so but on the other hand, I'm never. Let's put it like this: if you want to know my politics, I don't trust the government at all. Like when I say I don't trust the government, yes, I realize and understand that it's hard to not utilize the government in some type of form or fashion, but I don't trust the government. And I really don't want to get into the topic that's in my head right now because I have a video that I want to do this coming week based on this topic that's in my head. But the synopsis of it or just I plan on making it a series. And it's gonna be a partial of me talking and then bringing some evidence. Even though I can't really show evidence, I don't have a freaking computer so I can show freaking evidence. But what I can do is still try to bring as much evidence and tell y'all about as much evidence. Now, anybody that wants to dispute me at the end of that or after I get through with my section of the talking, then yeah, of course, it's gonna be open panel and come up there, tell me what to think, tell me how much of a retard I am, tell me how much I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't care because I know there's always going to be somebody with some hatred. There's always going to be somebody with some hatred. Hell, I mean, when do somebody not hate when somebody do something that somebody else don't like? Like, bro, this is like hell no. Like, I'm done with just the stupidity of everybody looking at the government and being like, why is this happening? This happening? This happening? Bro, cry me a fucking river. Our community and our country has been crying over the same crap since before I was born. Literally, like hell, women went from hey, we want feminism, free rights to now, hey, I just want to free my pussy and free my titties. And you're like, hold on. Um, as much as I would love for you to free them, I mean, hell, I'm okay with freeing the heavies. Free those things all you want. Hell, I mean, free the cooter too. That cooter should not be going to waste. Let that thing breathe, girl. Let that cooter breathe. But on another hand, I have to be realistic. And realistically, we can't just have people going around with titties out and pussy hanging out. Like, we have to have some type of order in order to like have a functional society. We have to have some order within this country. But you can tell throughout the years that hell, the government officials don't really want order. Like they really don't. Like to me, this is a facade. What we see on TV, that's just a facade. Like to me, like I don't never really truly believe the president is fully in control. Because let's be real, why would you put somebody in control of something that they're only gonna be in for maybe 4 to 8 months where you could just get a dummy to get in that place and take control of everything that you really want. Like what's up, Antoine? And what's up? I'm having a random rant right now on about just the government and how much I really don't trust them. Even though I can't, yes, I voted for Trump, and yes, I voted. I mean, yeah, I voted for Trump. Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care. But on another hand, I don't trust any type of government whatsoever. Like they both, it's the same thing, two different sides. I mean, both sides lied about something that was detrimental to the United States lives. Oh, hell, let's even go straight to 9/11. The fact that I'm not saying 9/11 as in, yes, planes did hit it, although it did fall kind of weirdly. I'm just going to admit it fell freaking weirdly, like a diminution. But don't get me started on this. All I'm trying to say is that let's be real, they lied. That's their job is to lie. If the government doesn't lie to you, then do they really love you? I mean, I've been in relationships in the past where a lie was a love. I mean, I said I lied to you because I love you. No, bitch, tell me the truth. Don't lie to me. But you know what? We're in an abusive relationship with the United States government. We've been in an abusive relationship with the United States government for as long as I can imagine. I mean, hell, they've been telling us what they're going to do for us. Hey, you vote for me and this will happen. Vote for me and that will happen. Well, you know what? You've been saying that shit since before I was born, and I can promise you, ain't shit happened. Ain't shit changed really. I mean, yeah, some good shit. Hell, you ain't supposed to mess with the Second Amendment, but somehow you still find a way to mess with the Second Amendment. Like hell, they cry about people smoking weed and being a gun carrier. It's like the founding fathers didn't say, "Oh, you had to have a license in order to have a firearm." Founding Fathers said nothing about carrying a firearm and being under the influence. Hell, they drunk themselves. So why would they even care about that? And then if you want to go off the fact of just cannabis alone, the founding fathers utilized cannabis at all expenses. That means for paper, rope, paper, rope, and even to use to smoke. You can look up right now where it says George Washington preferred to smoke a pipe of cannabis than take a sip of alcohol. That came from our very first president of the United States. So if George Washington said that then what makes a difference? Oh, I already know what some people gonna say. Yeah, yeah, but it wasn't as strong as it was back then. Oh yes, yes, strength can always be a factor, but let's be real. It's come on, it's the same thing, just a little bit stronger. Yes, it's not the same as your grandpappy's weed. Oh yeah, your grandpappy's weed. Yeah, that was dirt weed. People learned how to grow it better. And since then we found out, oh, okay, we can do this to make things benefit. All right. Oh, what's up, Tent Man? Give me 1 second. I'm new to this crap.
Sup,
What's up, Tent
brother?
Man? Oh, not much. How you doing?
Uh, really good. You know how happy it makes me when I hear your voice and you're happy to see me. See, 6 years ago, people would go, "Oh no," and they'd be terrified that I showed up. I like this better. That's what I was trying to tell Dusty yesterday. Right?
Yeah.
Is like having that fear and people being terrified of you is fun. There's a lot of power, but this is more power, and this is better.
Yeah, I always try to come on panels with good energy just because I'm a happy go lucky person always.
Yep.
But it's always that one idiot that kind of, I mean, the Marine Corps always says it's always that 1% that fucks it up for everybody else. Well, hell, that's in regular day life too, you know?
Children,
Yes, pretty much. Because
people that are
most
willing
people,
to put other people's lives in danger for their fun. No, I get you. I know it's despicable. I know.
yeah, but I'm just doing random while I'm at work. I was like, oh, let me try to do a first live or second
Oh,
live.
is this your first? Oh, okay.
Well, this is my second live, but
Right.
this is my first one where actually somebody comes on the panel and I just don't leave after 30 minutes.
Well, that's why I got you to be putting your links in our chat and everything, right? Is because
Y-
otherwise, how are we gonna know where you are?
Yeah, it's just my work schedule is so freaking weird. It's like 1 week
Oh.
I'll work like 3 days on, or yeah,
Mhm.
3 days on, 2 days off, or 5 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 3 to 5 days off. So always trying to
Uh,
find that perfect time, and it's like, all right. And then now I'm in a relationship, so it's like, all right, if my girl's up here, I might not be able to start till after she go to sleep,
yep.
until the kids go to sleep. So I'm trying to figure that out too. It's like
Yep.
good that she doesn't live with me now, but when she does, I will have to plan out crap in the future.
Listen, there's been times, you're new to my show, really, but um, where people are like, "Oh, sorry that I had." Even Beth does it sometimes. Sorry about that. I had to go. I'm like, no, you don't ever have to give me an explanation. Like that, just go do your thing, right? Like Vibe. I don't know. You've seen Vibe. He'll just disappear, right? Because he got 3 or
Yeah.
something kids. They're all single digit age. I expect that. I expect it, right? Like if it, that's why I tell people, like I could disappear for 2.5 years again, lickety split. Right thing happens. That's the real problem, and you probably know. I don't know if you ever had a long term relationship, but if tomorrow my husband said we're moving back to our home province, I don't really have much of a choice. That's kind of how we ended up here. He said, "I'm moving. You're either coming with me or you're not." Right?
Yeah.
Well, there's a 900% chance I'm going. So if I move back home, I may never see you guys again. If I'm around my family again and they're not a 7-hour drive away, you guys aren't going to see me. I'm going to be with my family. I'm going to be helping old people, my old family, like shit like that. You guys will be insignificant to me now. Sorry, but that's the way it is. I'll be gone like Donkey Kong, and you guys will forget that you ever even knew me.
Yeah, I think most people they get too close to people online when they know they really can't get too close because you never officially really know the
Yeah,
person,
fuck that.
and so
Family
we
first.
we treat people online like they're like family or best friends, and I'm like, I don't really know you guys that well.
Nope.
Like, I'm just here because I'm trying to build a business, and it involves me having to get online doing something I don't like to do, which is showing my face and talking.
What do you mean by trying to build a business?
Well, I'm trying to bring more people to my gunsmithing business,
Oh, right. Yeah, no, that's a genius idea because we know a lot of people.
but also I do like to joke around and stuff, and I kind of want to make this like I have this like a old school daily show type of thing in mind, but
Yep.
like something a little bit way more raunchier, like something to where YouTube might not accept me, but I'm still gonna bring it anyways.
Do you have donation links?
Uh, no, I don't know how to do none of that crap.
So
I
it's not
just
something you're even interested in doing is getting donuts?
I have like my freaking
PayPal, Cash App.
PayPal and Cash App stuff like that, and I got the little banner up like right there.
Yeah, but then when you PayPal, people will know your name. I think your name's on your PayPal, isn't it?
I think I changed it to where it couldn't be because that's why.
The thing is, if you're advertising your business, it's going to know your name anyway.
Yeah,
and try
and
to keep your work and your home, which I did very successfully for 5 years, 6 years, 5 years. Yeah, no one ever found out where I worked.
yeah, I guess the bad part about that is because I do run my business at my home. So
No, I'm talking about your other work.
oh, that's why entertainment wise now, yeah, that won't be connected whatsoever.
Right.
Now
They can find out about your business, yeah.
Yeah, now they're gonna find out my first name because on my other YouTube channel, I say my first name. So I'm not worried about. I'm not even worried about my name. They can have my name because as soon as I see somebody coming on my property, they won't make it past that gate anyways.
I get you. Shouldn't say shit like that. You saw what happened to Cyrax, right?
Oh yeah. YouTube, I'm joking.
You got to say if there's a threat.
Yeah, if there's
it will operate within the law. If it was legal.
Yes, because within the law, if you pass something that already has a warning sign and it has a closed gate, then that means you already had your warning, and that means I'm just saying for people that don't
that
know.
argument, and I try to tell people, no, that no trespassing sign is your first warning, and someone's like, no, it's not, and I'm like, oh my god, you are stupid as fuck. My former co-host went onto a road, and at the end of the road, a sign that didn't even look like it had to do with the road said private roadway.
Mm-hmm.
He got convicted because it said private roadway. It's a university where there's a public bus stop down that road. Everything says it's public except for that one sign, and guess what? That's what matters. There's a posted sign. That's it. I'm so sick of people coming on the internet trying to tell me what the law is. I'm like, dude, I know people that were convicted of this crap. Now, maybe it's different in certain states because that was in Colorado, but this is the problem. There's a lot of places, like I think Texas and like 3 or 4 other states, maybe 10 or 12. We did a show about it where all they got to do is paint the fucking fence posts purple.
That's all I was just going to say.
You cross that fucking fence, you're done. That's it. They had the right to unalive you. That's it.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say. Was the purple on fence post is another thing, and people just don't realize it. Like I've learned that lesson because of security work and other stuff like that.
Yep.
But just also being a ranger, you have to realize that too, because hell, you're gonna have to find that owner in case your cattle going into a property that says, "I only got purple right there."
Yep.
Yeah, like I guess some people, because they don't study or even try to look at stuff outside of their own interest, they don't realize shit.
I often wonder where they get their information. Like, usually things are too dynamic on a panel to actually get into that. But I often do wonder, like, where do you get this information? Like, I was just watching a different show before I came here, and they were talking about radiocarbon dating. And I don't remember the exact details right this minute. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not there right now, because I think they're talking about stuff that they don't know what they're actually talking about. Because I've seen numerous documentaries on radiocarbon dating and different types of dating, right, throughout history. And it's got a range of, like, depending on as the date range goes back further, there's a wider range that it can be, right? So it could be 100,000 years old or 100 or 1.5 million years old. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's a 1.5 million years difference between the two, and you're trying to tell me this is accurate. Well, I don't believe it is, right? You're saying that it is because you think that it is, but you can't show me that it is, because I've had scientists explain that it's not precise, though it may, like, 1 million years is a huge range.
Exactly.
Right?
Like,
and I find it's the same thing with the law, is they feel it, they don't know it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I can see both ends, because I mean, especially like when it comes to the Sphinx, like, people still aren't on the definite timeline on where it was actually created. That's like, oh, well, you can see erosion from sand. No, that's not erosion from sand. That's water erosion. It's like, all right, you can't have nobody has a mutual understanding on anything. So how about we scrap what everybody thinks and let's start back from the beginning and see if we can come up with a better conclusion.
Well, this is the problem, is, so let's say they were talking about the radio dating, right? And they're like, well, it's science and the blah, 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 blah. And see, the problem is sometimes I don't want to go up because I already know I'm going to win this argument, and then people aren't going to like it. Right? So sometimes I just won't take part in something because I don't want to hear the feedback, right? Because what I wanted to do was go up there and say, oh, okay, so how come I had to listen to the same arguments about science and all this shit and studies when they had to hear the same thing about trans? Like, we're going to have to talk to your kids because otherwise you're abusing them by not chopping off their penis. Right? And they're not going to like that discussion. They're going to say, I'm changing the subject, just like Joe Cool did. Right? But if you're going to tell me that science is precise at the same time as tell me we have to cut off kids' genitals, otherwise they'll unalive themselves because they're sad, because their dick made them sad. I can't. You're going to have to explain to me how I believe one set of science and not the other based just on what you say. Because I can tell you that scientists are wrong more often than they're right.
Hell yeah. Especially if you just think about how they do it in labs. Like, they go through so many variations of tests and to get the same conclusion. Well, right. Sometimes they eliminate the testing so they can benefit their conclusion, so that they can push out their narrative.
The opiates, the Purdue family with the opiates, I brought that up. You might have been there the other day, where I'm like, oh, okay, so what about the? I might have been, but anyway, and I'm like, so they pay $60 million, but they made $600 million. They paid $60 million in fines, but like you just said, they left out data that said that opiates were addictive, that they did not actually help nearly as much as what the study showed, because they left out all the data that was contradictory to their profits. So if we've got that with the Purdue family and all those people, we got the trans stuff. So there's two different cases where science was marred. And never forget that when it comes to Purdue, or the different drug companies or the trans stuff, those people that funded those studies did that for a reason. They wanted that data left out for their own reasons, right? And due to the fact that there are no repercussions for this other than some fines, no one goes to jail, nothing. Well, I can't believe anything you say now.
Exactly. And you can go just even as small as like smoking. At one point, they was telling us that smoking was healthy. And they even went so far to tell, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the show Mad Men, but like they kind of showed an example whenever they was like, oh, well, hell, let's just keep making an advertisement, make it look cool, make it look sexy. Throw a woman on there smoking a cigarette. It'll attract more men to want to do it.
Yep.
It's like a fishing bait no matter what.
Yeah, but you want to know something? The funniest thing about that? I believe that we're going to find out, just like we did about these jabs, but 45 years ago or whenever it was that all those tobacco company lawsuits happened. I don't know if you remember exactly how that went down, but I've covered it on my show and I was alive, right? Yeah. And they pulled all these tobacco executives into Congress. No different than, I'll think of it in a second. There's another example of very similar. But I don't believe that cigarettes and tobacco products are nearly as bad for you as what they told us after that. That was just a way for the government to put laws into effect so that they can strong arm companies into getting kickbacks to keep their mouths shut. That's all that was. It was just a scam. That's what I believe.
I can see that as a plausible factor, and I can also see maybe they were using chemicals in the whenever they sprayed it. Of course, you got to keep the pesticide. You got to keep pests away from it, of course. And so, within having to utilize that, of course, they probably like when you growing plants and using pesticide. Usually, you're supposed to flush the plant a certain amount of time so you can get the chemicals out. Of course, they were just cutting them, then hanging, and then doing what they do. That's my theory on it.
The funny thing is you're actually very close. From what I saw from a documentary series that I watched on tobacco one time, see, all this knowledge that I have is 20-something years old. That's why I always get so incensed when people go, I don't know about this. And it's like, I knew about this 20 years ago. How do you not? But it's the drying process, because most of them use propane, because it would take way too long otherwise. So they put them in these, just like when you're drying lumber. I don't know if you ever worked at a lumber mill, and they put it in a giant kiln, like a giant kiln that you could fit like 4 tractor trailers into, right? If you stack them too high, too wide. And so the same thing with the with the tobacco bales, and the majority of the toxins that are in a cigarette, from what I saw, and this is tobacco farmers that like this, whole documentary series, right? And the majority of those chemicals come from the burning of the propane in the kiln and not having an exhaust to let all those fumes out.
Yep. See, I've learned about how they do for cannabis, and I'm not sure how the big timers do it.
Faster.
Exactly. And so they just hang it in a cabinet or closet, and then boom. But before they can hang it, they have to flush it out if they're using pesticides or chemicals, so they can ensure they get it out. And so you're not smoking those chemicals whenever you're inhaling.
Yeah, well, I don't know for sure. This is just, once again, it's when a scientist tells me this shit, then I take it with half fact.
True.
Same as religion, right? Like it makes me just as frustrated when a person who believes in science says, "Oh, well, no, this is accurate. The dating, blah blah blah." No different than, well, it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. It's the Trinity. It sounds exactly the same to me, and both of those sound exactly the same to me as Harry Potter was the most powerful wizard ever. Same nonsense. Shut the fuck. Stop saying shit as if you know. Like
Yeah,
you're willing to put your life on. You know that this is a fact, and I'm like, bro, you seem really young. And then people are like, I'm the same age as you, and I'm like, holy fuck, what have you been doing for 50 years?
yeah. Like I was at Sarah's earlier, and they was having the it's illogical
That's what I'm talking about. Yep, yeah.
for
That's where I
Christianity.
was, and I saw you, and I'm like, this is going to be way, way, way more fun for me having a conversation with Crack Baby.
Yeah, like that black dude kept getting on my nerves. And I'm like, I was up there and backstage, and then I was like, no, fuck this. I'm about to just start a run. And
Yep.
I was like, I can't stand this. I'm like, I'm a Christian, and I can say that I believe in God, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe in the Holy Spirit. I'm not sure if I believe that they're one and the same as far as Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit, because Jesus said that, hey, I will send the Holy Spirit. That don't mean that the Holy Spirit is a part of him. It's just saying like, hey, it's like if a king says, I'm going to send my messenger to come see you, like that's what, like in my mind, that's what I think of. And Jesus could be the son of God, but I don't know if he's the actual form of God. Now, the Old Testament does foreshadow of Jesus coming to earth, but as far as everything else, I'm not sure about the Trinity wise. I don't see where the Trinity comes into play when I read the Holy Bible, as all three are conjoined as into one.
See, I do, but that's because I'm crazy. But I know that, right? And you know what? Like, see, this is the thing. I've yet to see you use your faith or whatever you have, right? And you might have were you around when I interviewed Dan Man?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, so he's a guy I've been watching for a long time. He talks about Jesus. He's kind of like almost a Baptist, if I was to guess, but he reminds me of you a lot. Both of you are younger gentlemen. You have faith, but neither one of you use it to beat people down. And in all honesty, I can hear the way you speak that if ever, and when you were young, you ever tried to use religion as a cudgel to hit people with, that when I hear you speak or Dan Man speak, I can hear that you wouldn't do that, because if your mother heard you use Jesus to try to beat other people up, she'd smack you in the face.
Or no,
or your grandmother or something, right? Like
well,
somebody taught you the same as they did me. You have no right ever to use my Savior's name to try to attack somebody else. How dare you?
Yes. Now, yeah, we never use the Lord's name in vain whatsoever. That was like the number rule. Still now, no GDs. My girl, she'll look at me like, I'm like, oh yes, I know that was an accident. But like I'm the different type of Christian because like I grew up in the church Baptist. I was real big as a Christian as a kid, and then grew up, and then of course really didn't stay connected to my faith like I was supposed to.
Yep.
But then later on, I got back into faith, and then when I started reading the Bible for myself instead of just letting someone read the Bible for me, I start reading stuff and I question things. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I'm like, all right, well, if Cain left and God said, I'm going to mark you so they don't mess with you, then that means there was another civilization here. Yep. There had to be at that point. And then it makes you think, okay, well, they say that the Sumerians in Mesopotamia was one of the cradle locations as far as the main location where we can find sewer systems and everything like that as far as the structure wise. So then you can connect that maybe he ran to go communicate or meet with the Sumerians. Because I don't think, I can't remember, I think like maybe in the New Testament is when we first maybe we really get to hear about Sumerian and how Jewish people have their beef with them. And so it's like, well, the Samaritans tell Israel to build their property all the way to Gaza, which means Gaza existed before Israel had their land. It's like, all right, so there's a lot of things that doesn't correlate. But I'm the crazy one that I will say that I believe all religions come together as a masterpiece. It tells a story that everyone can come see together. But if all religions shut the hell up and come together, they can realize we're all part of the same story. But I might be crazy, so
no,
don't.
I've said the exact same thing.
I mean, that's just how my mind thinks when I'm sitting by myself.
Well, so Beth talks about this, right? Is why did only certain information get into the Bible?
You have to control what the people see so they can believe what you want them to believe, not what they're supposed to actually believe.
And so, why did they have to hide certain books and stuff from
Because
being able to be put into the, like, why did they have to spirit it away, bear it in the desert, like do all this shit to hide this shit?
now this is just my opinion, but because if Christians knew the real truth, it will astonish them. Like I even almost went to the presumption of maybe the fallen angels could be a representation of aliens. I've been through that, and I still think about that sometimes as a Christian. And I'm like, because like I know I've heard this on different people panel, but this is my thought too. Like we use stuff these days that we make a reference to a chariot in the sky. Well, hell, of course you ain't gonna. It's not gonna be an actual chariot, but hell, if it has flames and smoke and it's coming down, that sounds like a spaceship of some type.
No, but I've showed it to you. It could very well have just been the ball lightning. I don't know if you were.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
when half of your entire group dies every winter, or like every year, half of your people die because of disease, famine, environment, all this stuff, and every time the sun comes back and sticks around, you guys are way happier. There's food. It's less of a hard life and less of you die, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, one day, you see this sun. It looks like a sun floating across the sky, or maybe it's 50 feet up in the air. And you see this, and it's coming down. It's floating around. You're going to go, oh my God, that's the sun just sent a piece of itself down to earth.
I can see where you're coming from. I mean, because if we go to like the Egyptians, don't they have like the sun god where it's on top of their head and some? Yes. I can see, but like they still have other stories of like seeing a god or angel with animal heads and stuff like that. I mean, to me, I'm like at that point, they're speaking of another species. Now, that species could have been created by whoever the Watchers, Nephilim, whatever you want to call
them. Yeah. Or they ate bad barley or whatever, mushrooms, something, and they saw the fucking machine elves. To them, that was real.
The 8 theory.
No, just the machine elves. Like I have only it's been a few months, I think, since I did any stories about this, but like there's numerous rich people. I think Elon was one of them. Joe Rogan, all these people that saw the machine elves while on illicit substances, peyote, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the machine elves supposedly told these people the only way for you to attain salvation and live forever is if you unalive 97% of the population of the planet type thing.
See, that sounds demonic.
Yes. So who's to say that there aren't angels and demons, right? But like if I was an angel, I wouldn't want to interact with us or God, because then that's just going to give. I shouldn't even be having this conversation, but luckily there's nobody watching.
Let's go. I don't care.
No, I know, but this is when so I wouldn't interact with humans because that's just going to give them an out, right? If I come down and give you fire, then you're going to be able to blame me for all the bad things that happen with that fire. Now, the devil is going to say, I think that more good than bad will come from this fire because of his hubris. But which side is wrong? Neither, because neither is good or evil. What it is they both have hubris, and this is where it comes down to why I get frustrated. Dusty and I had that conversation earlier on the show because like I keep telling you this. You've been doing since 2 years ago. I met you. You're doing the same thing. You're getting mad at everybody and blaming everybody, and the reason is because when people go around and use magic, which, like somebody said yesterday, well, all words are magic. That's what magic always was.
Correct.
But they're not willing to take responsibility for what their actions are. That's evil, right? Like, there is no such thing as good or evil. There's no such thing as white or black, right? And I don't mean color or race. I mean
perspective.
Right. So as soon as people, just like you were saying, as soon as people were, if people, but I don't think this is the real problem. Is I don't think that even 95% of the population of Earth is smart enough to be able to operate without faith. They will literally just break. Their psyche
I agree with
break.
That. And I can even say, even atheists at some level will break because of their faith, because their faith is that there is no God. And so, yeah, truthfully, even though I used to fight on this subject, it's a subjective thought regardless. I mean, it's all about belief, and everyone is going to have a subjective thought on what they believe and what they think is good and what they think is not good. I mean, we can have a universal, yeah, we can say, you can't even say like universally uh taking someone's life is bad, because there's always going to be that big majority that's going to be like, I don't know, because of this and this and this. And then you always have to make a rule to specify, okay, you can do this, but you can't do this, 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 and this, and this.
Yep. I need better examples, but it's just Sasquatch used a quote. I think Mark Twain. The only thing that I know for sure is I know nothing at all, or something. And all it is people want to have a reason. If they want to have a reason why the bad things happen.
Well, see,
but there's never going to be a reason.
Excuse me, but this is a reason with even Christians, because they have a flaw to where they think that it's all only the devil, when they don't realize that God allows the devil to do things at certain times.
Yep.
To bring you towards him closer for a certain reason. Like, if people read the book of Job, it shows a courtship of how God and the devil works. He's like, hey, have you heard about Job, my loyal servant? He knows everything that Job goes through. He knows that his kids are a piece of shit, that they defaming the Lord and everything like that. Job tries to do as best as he can. God is like, all right, do what you can, but don't touch him. In hell, the devil kills this, takes out his kids and do everything else, and Job still stays humble. And God rewarded him double than what he had.
You think that's okay?
and that shows to me a partial of how God works, because in the Bible it shows that in multiple times that the devil can go up to heaven whenever he wants. Like he's
Right.
not stopped from going to heaven.
Right.
So, and he always goes up there. Most time, if he's torturing someone or putting pain upon someone, it's a legitimate cool reason, or and he has a foul, or you did this exactly. You didn't repent. You didn't ask for forgiveness. So yes, I have a legitimate lawful reason to come towards you.
Yep.
I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
It does. It makes sense, but I just that's always my problem is when people want to say that God can have these mysterious ways that we can't understand, but then you can tell me that you understand God. Don't make no sense, right? So you're talking at both sides of your mouth. You're telling me two things are true when I tell you neither are true, then you tell me I'm wrong. But at the same time, you can tell me that both of those are true. So how do you prove? Well, then that's your faith. And I'm like, well, no, it seems like you're blind. You have blind faith.
Yeah, I mean, technically, the religion. I don't like to say religion because I don't like to be. I don't like to. I'm not part of the religion as far as what they're constraining everybody else to be. I don't like to even be attached to that.
Mm-hmm.
But how should I say it? You can continue because I lost.
No,
I
you're
had
fine.
something on my mind. Oh,
Relax. I'm trying to roll a joint because my pipe was clogged, and then I pulled the screen out. And the screen is broken. It was my husband's pipe because my other pipe broke the other day. And I have a third pipe somewhere, but I can't remember where I put it after I cleaned it.
well, since you're speaking about that, yeah, my mind thought on something. I was thinking about this earlier because I live in Texas and I love Texas, but we have retards running it. And so by the 31st of this month, they won't be able to sell any type of THC whatsoever unless it's in an edible form.
Yep.
And although for my job, I technically can't do it, but I still disagree with it.
Yes.
To me, that's a dictatorship beyond anything.
Mm-hmm. You know what the reason is, right?
Well, alcohol lot. Well, for Texas, one alcohol lot because of the fact that they're losing a lot of people not drinking as much as they used to, especially the younger ones.
Yep, and this is stuff that you can grow in your own yard, and we can't have people growing stuff in their own yard. We add a tax to that. How are we going to keep our golden parachute pensions funded if we're not taking kickbacks from the alcohol industry?
But then you also got certain billionaire families in Texas. I can't say names for sure because it could affect my job, but yeah. But yeah, that do support for it, and of course they're always going to take the money.
Yep. Which should be a crime, and everybody involved in that should be in jail.
Yeah. Although I could lose my job for saying that, yes, I agree.
Well, yeah, you go in a book you wrote for fun. Right.
But yeah, I definitely agree with that 100%. Like, I don't like Dan Patrick, Hot Wheels. I don't like him either. I like them when they protect the Second Amendment, but when they do other stuff, I'm like, I don't understand your ideology behind this. Well, I do and I don't.
Well, everybody they watch this. So I never. So people say why do you always reference movies and television shows, 10th Man? It's not real life. And it's like, oh, do you want to talk about the guy who stood in front of the tank in China? Like, what do you like? Want to talk about January 6th?
Shit,
I
right?
want to talk. No, but I'm just so. And this is where the real problems come in, because we're just talking about why is the world the way it is, instead of why are people the way they are, because that's the real problem. They don't ever ask questions.
Yeah.
All they do is tell you what they think.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem with a lot of people. People think, but they don't really think. And when I say think, like me, I think of questions in my head when I'm sitting by myself. I'm like, why this? Why that? But most people, they're so ready to give their answer. Me, I'm still trying to analyze everything so I can give a proper answer. I mean, I could never fully get my proper answer because I never know the full details. But for instance, like AJ last night or early this morning, like
Yeah.
that's a prime example of like an idiotic moron. I forgot who I was listening. I was listening to something. It was Machiavelli. I listened to a study of Machiavelli, and it was the steps of knowing when you're uh, talking to an idiot or fighting with an idiot. And like last night, he was going over every step that Machiavelli said an idiot would go through when they're trying to just derail the conversation and make sure that they're the one in topic, even though they didn't win, to where they leave the other person frustrated. He literally gave the perfect example last night.
Well, that was that. You saw that little short video. You saw the short that I played a couple days ago, right? Where that was like an old man, and he's like pushing somebody repeatedly to the breaking point is abuse.
Yeah.
And it is. Like, to sit there for 5 hours or whatever and just scream over everybody like that. And you're literally at this point taking advantage of Chuck's kindness.
Oh, he was too kind. Chuck was.
But you understand this, just because he's just a nice old man, right? He's not trying to cause a problem. He's trying to do sobriety. I wanted to go get booze this morning. I didn't. Right? I'm an alcoholic, and I try to do better. Sometimes I'm okay on booze, but not if it's hard alcohol.
Yeah.
So
understand that.
I see that as something that's like good, right? And he's a huge contributor to shows as well, besides what he's doing online. And he does make some pretty crazy jokes, but he's just joking around. I say some pretty horrible shit too.
Me too.
I'm not gonna I don't care what you say. If you and I are in a foxhole and you call me the F word all the time and I call you the N word, and then we fist bump while we're subjugating our enemies to our pew-pews or whatever, right? Like, none of that, nothing else matters other than the fact that you and I are gonna fight shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah,
so
like, oh my bad.
No, that's it. Like, it's just I'm sick of the feel stuff.
Yeah, like, dude, if people heard the actual stuff I say offline, they will probably be even way more furious than what they are online. Like, me and people that I hang out with, we call each other every racist name in the book, every horrible name you could think of. We say it, and we don't care about it. We don't literally, like, one day my coworker, he was jumping on some ice to put in to have to go down the drain. And I'm like, damn, you hate ice that much that you got to stump on their ass? We just started laughing. Like, we knew it was a joke. He didn't take it offensive. And of course, he said something racist towards me. Like, so hell. But I guess because I was in the Marine Corps too.
He should have said, "Dear." Now I'm playing Donkey Kong.
I'll tell him that when I see him on Wednesday.
Like
Oh
just
shit!
your fucking icon is offensive. Both of our icons are highly offensive.
Oh yeah. Just for me,
Why about it?
people's like, why? I don't want to call you crack baby. That's offensive. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
I love it.
Like hell, it was a nickname given to me. So what? Are you offended that? Are you offended for me now? You social justice warrior?
Yes.
Fuck.
I know. I
Like hell.
I'm an old man, right? Like I remember we were going to the campground. This is 35 years ago or whatever, 45 years ago. And my grandfather, it's me and I'm a baby, and my grandmother, my grandfather, we're driving to the campground. Got the old camper on the truck, right? And there's this lady, and like a like what do you call it? Like not a halter top, but yeah, maybe a halter top, and like just holding her breasts, right?
Yeah.
And her breasts were gigantic. Like I mean, so big that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, those heavies.
Yeah, like oof. It's like she has back problems for sure. And he just goes, look at the watermelons on that ninja. Right? And my grandmother goes, you dirty ba 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 ba. And I don't even know what's going on. He's laughing. He didn't mean any racism. He wasn't being racist. It was just hilarious to say. I don't see that as being racist. Because he wasn't saying like, I don't like that person because they're black. It was just a funny thing to say. Did you ever hear the story about a loved one that I have that thought, I'm going to change the way I say things online. I'm getting too famous again. But anyway, a loved one that I have that they don't know whether or not they are a quarter black or quarter Native Canadian. But when I met them, they said that they were quarter black. But then since we've been talking to these people more and like I met more of their family and stuff, now they say it might be Native, not black, because 100-something years ago, there weren't very good records. And then my husband goes, I feel kind of weird because I've been using the N-word my entire life. Oh shit, I said my husband. Whatever. I've been using the N-word my entire life because I thought that I was a quarter black. And now I don't know how to feel about it. And I was like, shut up, squaw. And he goes,
oh, shit.
He goes, what does that mean? And I'm like, I'm giggling. And he goes, he picks up his phone, Googles it. He goes, you're a piece of shit. I said, oh, did I hurt your feels, Pocahontas? Hilarious.
Oh, man.
Cry about it.
You know what? You just brought up something that grinds my gears now. I'm about to go on a All right, I'm tired of black people that always say I'm a quarter fucking Indian. Bitch, they didn't have no good detail in the record whatsoever. How the hell you ain't no full ass Negro? Talk about I'm a quarter, 50%, 10%. Shut the hell up. Your ass ain't a quarter of shit. You full 100% Negro.
It's just we didn't have racism where I grew up. We talked about this. I don't know if you were there the other day. I've talked about it many times. I had a family I grew up with. It's funny that the stories all meshed together, but Like if everybody knew how all these stories all mesh together, they'd be surprised. But it's just too long of a story to mesh them all together. But there's this family, and I knew them my whole life. We grew up together. He's maybe a year or two younger than me. And one of the times that I became homeless, I lived with them for a little while. And I loved his parents. They were the nicest people ever. Right? And in all honesty, I had a huge crush on the guy, but nothing ever happened because I don't make advances.
Yeah.
Right? It's just not how I roll. I have a lot of good friends that they could be gay now, and there'd be no. Some of them have been mad at me, right, and been like, "Oh my God, why didn't you say something?" Right, and I'm like, because I was a kid, and that's not what I'm doing right now.
Right.
Maybe you should have said something. You know what I mean? So anyway, the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah,
You're staying with a family.
Oh yeah, and so there was never any racism. I never had him tell me that anyone was racist towards him. I never saw. I was the only. I called him the N-word one time, and everybody got really mad at me. Even he was mad at me, and I'm like, "You people need to get over your feelings," because I was just joking around, and they wanted to pull the snowflake routine, and this is like 1999, and I'm like, "Hold on, you guys trying to say that I'm racist?" And they're like, "Well, that's a racist thing that you said." And I'm like, "You've known me my entire life. And now just because I say the N-word, you think I'm racist?" But we're singing the lyrics to the songs and saying the N-word all the time. But now it's racist. So do you ever think that maybe you guys are racist? You don't even know?
No, I can't be racist because we're not in superiority. I hate that fucking stupid shit.
No, because that is what they think. That they think that black people can't take it. That's weird to me.
Or something like
I never had any like. So this racism thing, it's a manufactured thing.
Definitely.
And the fact that people are falling into it sickens me.
Yeah, that's why earlier when I was ranting before you had jumped on, I was like, I just don't trust anything that goes on within the government. Like, I don't believe the president is really the president. I believe everything is just set up for just basically it's a reality TV show just to amuse us.
Yes.
I wanted to save this topic for my freaking next live that's gonna be an actual show, but I'll bring it up a little bit. Like you know how like in Rome, like when they had the Colosseum, yeah, it was for entertainment, but it was also to keep them busy so that they didn't know what was going on behind the scenes.
Circuses, yeah.
So that's basically what they're doing now with all the basketball, baseball, soccer, all you can think of, including politics as long because politics has become a sports alone by itself. And they're doing the same exact thing. And that's why that series is going to be called Nothing Is New Under the Sun.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a cheat code if you want, right? Not just if in case you might be on my show when I play this, but I'm going to show you a video. So, do you mind putting that up? It's Jimmy Dore. I've never gotten a strike, not a copyright, nothing. I wouldn't play it on your show if I thought there was a chance of anything. Jimmy Dore is not like that.
Oh yeah. No, I know Jimmy Dore. You good at that?
Yeah, no, that's why I like Jimmy Dore, even though I don't agree with all of his opinions. He is a very respectable man. Why? Oh, you're on your StreamYard. I'm like, why do I have a StreamYard icon? Right, I'm on your show. I always forget where. I am sometimes.
I'm on the free version. Hell.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Fuck $60 Canadian. So this is Joe Kent or whatever his name is, right?
Yeah.
And this I can't remember what was he?
He was the secretary or something.
Secretary of State?
I think so.
Okay, so the quote from this, and the reason we're watching it is 13 minutes, but I'll put it at 1.25 unless it's hard to hear or whatever. But I want you to understand that you are exactly correct. So this guy was probably like 4th or 5th highest ranking official in the government. I think this guy might have been actually above Kash Patel and Dan Bongino because he's Secretary of State. So He's the policymaker below, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember exactly the structure, right? But the point is, it says, I was not allowed to investigate Charlie Kirk's assassination. That's why he quit his job. One of the reasons why, right? We and our government officials have absolutely no power whatsoever. The ones with the power are the judges and the lawyers, the judiciary, the bar associations, the legal societies. Those are the occult. Those are the ones running our society. And nobody realizes it. And when I tell them how simple it is, because where's the best place to hide things? In plain sight. And that's what they've done. They've tricked people into going, no, I know lawyers. They're not like that. Oh, yeah, you know about their caseload? Have you ever gone through their cases and stuff? Well, no. Okay, so do you trust your barista? Do you trust like the people that work at your grocery store? So just ask it, because I don't, because I've worked in these places.
Yeah, my girl wondered why I'm so antisocial. I'd rather be by myself. It's like I'm not a people person, but also I just don't trust the world.
No.
Oh, here you go, Chuck.
No.
What's up, my brother from another butter?
Hey, Chuck, I was hoping that you would come up, but, I didn't want to say, hey, come on up, Chuck. I don't like putting pressure on people, right? But I am very, very glad to see you here. This is a clip that I have for my show tomorrow, or whenever I go live, right? I found this this morning or something.
Hey, play it, and I'll be right back. I use the restroom.
Yep.
Who is vocally advocating for us to not go to war with Iran and for us to rethink at least our relationship with the Israelis. And then he's suddenly publicly assassinated, and we're not allowed to ask any questions about that.
So, this is this guy, Joe Kent. He was the top counterterrorism expert working directly underneath Tulsi Gabbard in the Department of National Intelligence. And so I just want to, so now they're smearing him and everything, but this is what they're saying now. Trump, Joe Kent is he's a weak man. He's hugely weak and a huge disappointment. He might even secretly be a Clinton. I don't know. I'll tell you he's weak. Reporter, didn't you appoint him? Why are you asking me questions? Who are you? You're a terrible person. And
great job, Trump. Wow. It's looking good.
Joe Kent may secretly be a Clinton. What the F does that mean? He's fun at pizza parties?
He's cool about keeping a secret. You'll never prosecute him, Trump, you fucking traitor.
So the reason why I show you this is because Joe Kent spoke out about Charlie Kirk and how they were not allowed to investigate his assassination when he was the head of counterterrorism in the United States. He was not allowed to investigate it. Here, let's listen.
So we knew each other. And the last time I saw Charlie Kirk on this earth was in June in the West Wing, in the stairway. And I said hi to him, and he looked me in the eye, and he said very loudly, and it's a small, you've been in the West Wing, it's small, it's a tight space. And he said, Joe, stop us from getting into a war with Iran. Very loudly.
He was single-minded.
And he walked off, and he went, I believe, into the Oval. So when one of President Trump's closest advisors, who is vocally advocating for us to not go to war with Iran and for us to rethink at least our relationship with the Israelis, and then he's suddenly publicly assassinated, and we're not allowed to ask any questions about that. It's a data point. It's a data point that we need to look into.
What do you mean when you say we're not allowed to ask any questions about that?
We've been told that this individual, Robinson, is a lone gunman, and maybe he is. But the investigation that I was a part of, the National Counterterrorism Center was a part of, we were stopped from continuing to investigate. And the FBI will say that they stopped that because they wanted to turn everything over to the Utah state authorities. Everything's going to trial. It's very, very sensitive. But there was still a lot for us to look into that I can't really get into. But there was still linkage for us to investigate that we needed to run down. I'm not making any conclusions. I'm not saying
I don't think you
because of this happened. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying there's unanswered questions. We know the pressure because of the text messages that have been made public that Charlie was under a lot of pressure from a lot of pro-Israel donors. And again, we know Charlie was advocating to President Trump against this war with Iran.
So there you have it. They're not even allowed to look into the guys at the tippy top of the guys who are supposed to look into that assassination. We're not allowed to look into it. And if that bothers you, in the words of Eric Kirk, you just might be a bad person.
Yeah, and you're in the minority of the population.
Yeah. So that's where we're at now, folks. Increasingly becoming common knowledge that Israel assassinates Americans who don't go along, and nobody does anything about it. Is
Hey,
it-
how about where I live and the guy just shot up 6th Street and we haven't heard shit about it other than maybe a terrorist, but he's so obviously not. We're going to just move on.
why is it so difficult for our leaders to have sex with adults?
That's a good question, Jim.
Good Lord.
Vampirize their potential. That's why.
So there he is. There's a guy.
Most of this is after this is going to be commentary. They're going to get into some tweets and a tweet war and stuff like that if you care. But that's really all that we need.
All right. I mean, that's good.
Whatever you want to do.
I mean, you can show the tweets if you want. I don't care.
Mhm.
I don't have no way to control my screen, so we good.
Translation: Israel killed one of Trump's biggest supporters in order
Sure,
to get a
sure.
war with Iran, and the FBI covered it up just like 9/11. Wow, what scares me the most is how meticulously planned out this whole escapade between the U.S. and Israel has been, and for how long. It seems like it was planned from the very moment Trump came to office. Even bombing the nuclear facilities appears to be part of the broader picture.
Yeah, no shit. So now you're putting it together yet, everybody? I know it sucks.
And so what I said when I heard Joe Kent say that about he wasn't allowed to investigate, I said at least someone from the Trump administration will admit that Charlie Kirk's assassination is being covered up, and they're not allowed to ask any questions about it. That's a direct quote. The fact that Erica Kirk and the people currently running TPUSA have zero questions about this tells you everything you need to know about those people.
Can you pause real quick?
They're in on Charlie's assassination.
Of course. Yeah.
See, this is why people got to stop calling Candace Owens crazy, because, like, I know it kind of sounds crazy with the stuff that she says, but it's plausible. She has real questions that deserve real answers.
Yeah.
And it's been sketchy from the beginning. Like, I just started back catching up with stuff. And I looked at the video that she showed from behind Charlie Kirk, and I'm like, I thought it went through his neck.
Yep. I know.
No, you can play.
I understand. I don't understand why people don't like questions.
And they're covering it up. And if you can look at this situation and come to any other conclusion, then the way your mind works is God's own secret mystery.
I know. That's why I'm so shocked with Tim Pool. He has such a great band, and then he's so off on this.
Is he still not? He's still with. He's not about the real. He doesn't believe the official narrative on this, does he?
I don't think it comes up.
Okay.
I don't think it's allowed to come up.
And so
That's
immediately, the people from TPUSA, the people who should be the most interested in finding out who killed Charlie Kirk, are then smearing someone who told them he wasn't allowed to look into who killed Charlie Kirk. They immediately start smearing him. Immediately. What a coincidence. Joe Kent speaks truth and outs corruption, and the entire TPUSA propaganda network is attacking him. Well, here's one. That's Andrew Colvin. He's that used car salesman, liar, criminal. He says, breaking, Joe Kent is under FBI investigation for allegedly leaking classified information per reporting from Semaphore. The investigation predates his resignation. So that's what they're doing.
Wait, reporting from... Oh, okay, so is this that stupid shit when Piggy Hegseth said we're only letting certain people of the news in or else you're leaking information? Is that what they're trying to get him with, you think?
They are now, in retrospect, just trying to smear his character. And they're using
Yeah.
anything that they can. That's what this is. And I like this from Wally Rashid. He says, number one, the Israel mob is now holding Zoom meetings and phone calls, plotting how to save face following Joe Kent's statements. Because he said that Donald Trump, this is all for Israel. And that we shouldn't have done this. And Iran didn't pose any threat to us.
It was for Israel, yeah.
And so
like all
that's
the
one
other
of the,
ones.
that's one of the top guys in the Trump administration when it comes to security. And he's saying that we went to Iran because of Israel, and they didn't pose a threat to us. And now the Israeli mob is now holding Zoom meetings and phone calls, plotting how to save face following Joe Kent's statements. They will begin delegitimizing his statements, calling it totally absurd. Oh, you want to see who did that? Ex-Trump counterterrorist honcho Joe Kent peddles bizarre conspiracy theory that Israel had a hand in Charlie Kirk's murder.
Oh, so bizarre.
So they're doing exactly what Wally Rashid predicted. They're going to delegitimize his statements, calling it totally absurd. Well, they called it totally bizarre.
Is it really bizarre? Is it?
Number three, they will begin a deep investigation into Joe Kent's life, attempting to find anything to tarnish his reputation, character, and brand him as a fringe lunatic.
Well, he worked for Trump, so.
Number four, the Israeli mob will push their allies and U.S. officials to publicly condemn Kent's statements, isolating him from the establishment and powerful figures. And five, the Israel mob will begin fabricating lies about Kent, including fabricating evidence to put this man in prison. Watch how quickly this happens, because these people are mobsters. Okay.
Well, Ryan King wrote that article in the New York Post. I got to see it, what he looks like, and I got to know his real name because I bet it's not Ryan King.
And so there it is. There's the New York Post, ex-Trump counter terrorist honcho, Joe Kent, peddles bizarre conspiracy theory.
Almost
That's
over.
a bizarre. That's bizarre to you. The people whose two main MOs are assassinations and false flags, and that's bizarre. By the way, this post by the New York Post, it got community noted.
Yeah.
Joe Kent's exact words were, "By no means am I saying the Israelis did this or any of that, but I am saying there are a lot of unanswered questions and there isn't enough data to at least say that there's a good chance that President Trump feels like he is under threat." That's what he actually said. So they're twisting what he's saying. They're going to
That's
make
Ryan
up,
King doing it.
they're trying to make up false stuff. Who's that doing that?
That's the reporter. I thought there'd be at least 3 reporters writing this.
Just
this
one
story this
person?
important. His name's Ryan King. He looks like a dipshit if you look at him.
So it's a conspiracy for sure, but is it really bizarre? No, it's actually logical. It makes a lot of sense.
Pretty much par for the course with Israel, isn't it? That's what you've always heard, and people who are Zionists that love Israel will brag to you that they will do literally anything to defend Israel, including traffic your kids. That means anything. Anything means anything, assholes.
Charlie Kirk has been debating, insulting, pushing back against liberals, Muslims, Democrats, LGBTQ community for over 10 years. But as soon as he criticized Israel, he's shortly assassinated. Yeah, what a bizarre theory.
You know how furries are huge pussies, so I would never believe one could kill anyone?
Right.
Unless there was a conspiracy. I don't believe the pipe bomber, that they stitched some innocent kid up.
That's
I believe
right.
100%.
100%.
They got him out of a patsy file. There ain't no way that dude was the bomber. So they do it all the time.
Hey, to learn who rules over you, simply find out who you are not allowed to criticize. And that's Israel. That's Israel. And you're not allowed, Joe Kent is not allowed to criticize them. Guess what? Charlie Kirk was not allowed to criticize them. Look what they did to him. Look what they're doing to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Look what they're doing to Thomas Massey. Look what they're doing to anybody. Look what they're doing to Tucker Carlson. Look what they're doing to Candace Owens. Look what they're doing to Megyn Kelly, who is a Zionist.
Yeah, Megyn Kelly, the slightest amount of spine, like that pure clear skin kid said.
Yeah. So I like this. People who should expect this effing outcome at this point. Who in government is more likely to arrest, Joe Kent or an Epstein client? They're more likely to arrest Joe Kent. I'm not kidding. Watch for some kind of crazy charges to be thrown at him. No
Him
kidding.
and Tucker. While this dipshit has borrowed right now, those job is to go, shut up, Tucker. Oh, like you'd be arrested. Oh, shut up, Joe Kent. Oh, you're the worst. I did.
There's 1 minute left. I showed you guys yesterday that Trump wants to have people charged with treason for certain news reports.
If you work online.
That's a problem, right? You want to get the rest of this out of the way?
Yeah, we can.
And as a special agent, I fucking hate you. If you're an online deployed Smith-Mundt Modernization Act fucker, fuck you.
Someone says, bye-bye, America. FY, all good things sadly come to an end. It's done. The sad part is how many Americans are in denial about it, so much so that they will be surprised when all hell breaks loose. The writing has been on the wall for at least the last decade, that you don't run your own country. Your country is being run by a handful of oligarchs and Zionists.
I blame body positivity and, to a large degree, the trans big pharma movement to make it so whatever people want to believe is true. Because solipsism is how we got here. So that's why I think everyone should know. Only a few people know.
Yes.
Because they all live in their own little matrix they made.
And yes. All right. If you'd like to hear my jokes about this.
That's it. So it's exactly what you were saying.
Yeah, and like I wish like one day in the future I could say some information that I could say for sure how I know Candace Owens is correct, but until I'm away from my main job, I can't say it. But for sure she's on a hunch. Few things I could say for sure. Either way, yeah. It's for sure a shit show, and yeah, I don't trust it at all. Like people want to know, like, why is Erica in that position? Well, you got to find a placeholder quick. The people that put money behind the company, they have the right to say who they want in the position.
Well, no, they don't.
I mean, no, but you know what I mean.
No. In the rules of the jungle, they do.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I can say on that part. Yeah.
I understand. But it's exactly what you said, that I mean, this is my words, but I say oftentimes that elections aren't real. They're not. Just because someone like, do you believe that sports are real? I do not.
No, it feels so facade of a fake thing.
Because I've watched numerous scandals go down and never forget these are not like regulated sports. Like there'd be nothing. Like, yeah, they some people have been charged with like the coaches or the referees, right?
Yeah.
Because betting, but that's because there's laws about that. But there's no law that says you can't have WWE in basketball where it's all fake and set up. There's no law that says they can't.
Yeah, basically like the Harlem Globetrotters.
All they're getting these people for is the same as like if you worked at the lottery commission and used knowledge that you were using that you learned there to win the lottery, that would be illegal because you cheated, right? But that doesn't mean that the lottery isn't a scam to begin with. The same as the sport, the same as the election.
But even then, by your own reference of what you just said, that means that insider trading for a government should be definitely illegal because most of them are working with or dealing with people on the outside of companies, and they know when something is going to happen, so they can change and pull out whenever they want to.
Martha Stewart went to jail over $30,000 of supposed insider trading, but Nancy Pelosi has made tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in the exact same way. But because they have immunity as a government official, you can't hold them responsible.
Yeah, don't get me started on that dried up cum sock of a woman.
I'm just saying. And then you get a guy like this Joe Kent guy in there. He's supposed to have a job. He wants to investigate something, and they tell him, no, keep your mouth shut. You're here to look pretty. Keep your mouth shut.
And if not, if anything happened to your vehicle while you're driving, we don't know what happened.
It would be horrible if something happened to your family.
Exactly. Like people don't realize what they watch in movies and stuff is just predictive programming on what they've done and what they will do. In my opinion.
One second, I'm trying to switch devices so I can be mobile. You still here, Chuck?
Yeah, I'm still here.
What do you got to say about this?
That's all a bunch of lunacy.
What is?
The right hand, the left hand. It's just craziness.
Do you believe that both parties are controlled by the same people at the top?
No.
No. Do you think that? Sorry. Good.
I don't think there's a controlling party other than the bureaucracy that we have in place.
Yeah.
Your lifelong people that get put in these positions that think there's some sort of God now, and they'll go against no matter who's in office just to sustain their empire.
Turn my other avatar up if you could, please. Yeah. I'll be switching around.
Okay. Oh shit.
No, it's fine. I'll come back when I need to.
All right.
Just because, Chuck, my theory at this point is that it's the judges and lawyers that are actually controlling society, and not the Illuminati.
I don't think the judges are controlling stuff. I think it's just very few wealthy people. I'm not gonna say Illuminati, but if you want to say Illuminati, sure. Let's throw Illuminati, whatever the other fucking boule, whatever they want to call them for black people, whatever. I believe there's some type of group that do have something that they want to push, agenda that they want to push regardless. I think it would have came whether Kamala became president or Trump became president. No matter what, the result would have kind of led to the same location, just maybe a different pace, just a piece to people so they feel like, oh, they chose the right person, whatever. But that's my theory.
So you're saying that those people that you're referring to control the judges and the lawyers?
Well, I mean, if a judge can easily change their mind based off of what somebody says. Now, all right, now I'm not talking about like lower level judges. I mean like supreme, highest level judges. I don't know anything about state level judges as far as government wise, as far as that wise, state government wise. I'm not sure.
Well, the one problem there is a large majority of, well, from what I've seen anyway, law is not by a person that's even a judge or a lawyer. It's a magistrate, right? So this
Magistrate is the lowest level.
No,
here in the
magistrate does
States.
not have to have any legal training whatsoever. In
Like a
lot of
secretary?
jurisdictions.
It depends on the state that you're in, state municipality, what the requirements are.
Yeah.
Not all of them. I know there's a couple, was it Virginia or North Carolina? You can have a sewing circle degree and become a magistrate. But it's not uniform across the country.
Okay.
But magistrate's the lowest level in the judicial system there is.
So
Here
almost
in
sound
the
like
States.
my bad, Chuck, you can go.
No, I was just saying here in the States, they're usually the lowest level position because they're not a true full-fledged judge that can make these decisions to send you to prison or shit like that. They're more of a well, damn it, can't think of the word of them. Go ahead, I can't think of the word. When I remember it, I'll tell you.
So are y'all talking about more like a secretary or a desk jockey that's doing something on the behalf of a congressman that congressman might go slip it to the judge or something like that?
I'm eating cereal. Give me 2 minutes.
I
All right,
heard that.
All right. I couldn't sure if he said he had a dick in his mouth or if he had cereal. Either way, we'll wait till he get back.
Till he gets that dick out of his mouth.
Once you get through Slapper, you can jump back on.
People give me a hard time about eating while I'm talking.
I'm just fucking with you. So Chuck, when you say magistrate, what do you mean? Do you mean like a desk jockey?
Yeah, they're more administrative than anything. All they're gonna do is the person got arrested last night. You're gonna go in front of them and they're gonna say, look at the papers, they're gonna say, okay, here's a bond for you. Come back and see a real judge.
Nah, I can kind of see where you come from because now I'm thinking about it. I do remember hearing stories. I'm not sure if it's true or false of like, you know how like the judge would just kind of have their like permanent stamp that they might not actually stamp it. The secretary would do it, and so of course
Yeah.
everything goes straight to the secretary, and so the judge might not see half of the cases. The secretary might just be stamping and stamping until the few that the judge might have to look at, of course, and then he will actually look at them. But is that like what y'all talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
All right, like that, because like I remember hearing the story about I hate even saying her name, but Jasmine Crockett. She's in my lovely state of Texas. I think she got kicked out from it, thank God. She wasn't doing anything, like her secretaries and stuff was doing her work for her, and so pretty much she was just they'll tell her, hey, or we gotta come to your house to come help take care of something because you don't want to come to the office. And then most of the stuff that they're pushing through is just the stuff that the secretaries just having to really do themselves, go to the library or whatever, study up, look up stuff, and turn that paperwork in as if she did it.
Yep.
But the results showed, and I think she was in South Dallas area, that area had no accomplishments whatsoever. And that's why I'm like, well, maybe she just didn't have it in for the judges or whoever could push stuff in that area compared to somebody else. If it's because she's a Democrat, I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to see that part thriving. But even though that's section of Dallas has been thriving lately, but it wasn't for her. It was prior to her.
Yeah, I can remember when we got a city attorney in St. Louis before I moved. And what she would do is, no matter what the case was, whether it was shoplifting for a candy bar or killing 3 guys on the street, she was releasing them. She was just letting them go on their own words. She wasn't giving them bond or anything. Nope. Don't charge them no money. Just let them go.
Wow.
She didn't last very long. She was one of those George Soros backed people that won the election, and she was a
I'm going to
complete
see
idiot.
what I can find. Now, this is not going to be about magistrates, I don't believe. I got to find some cardboard for that joint, I tell you that. Oh, my pipes are broken. There's a lady that I've been following for a real long time. A little less now because I do shows more, but when she had less than 1,000 subs, I was watching her stuff on my show. Her name's Susan Bassey. There we go. And she's all cool with copyrights too. Oh my God, she has 82,000 subs now, man. She has really, really blown up.
Yeah.
I mean, just a few years ago, she only had like 5,000. I remember looking. Well, let's see. Should be able to find something pretty short here. Let's see. That's really long. Right.
Give me 1 second. I gotta use the restroom.
All right.
Do your thing.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Buddy. You're fine. I gotta go find some cards.
You gotta go. You gotta go. I mean,
I wonder if he can still hear us. So anyway, I won't even bother because it's too much research. It's faster if I tell you. Anyway, the Susan Bassey lady, she looks into private judging, and private judges are similar to magistrates, except for they're actually judges a lot of times, I think. But they're the ones who make decisions on family court issues and shit, right? So when you say, Chuck, oh, well, that's just, they go, oh, until you see a judge. Yeah, okay. And that's great when it's like, oh, and you just can't see your kids for a few years till you see a judge, right? Because that happened to Otto the Watchdog, right?
Yeah.
So they're magistrates and private judges that have a lot more power, right? Like if you could very well, depending on where you are, see a magistrate for one of those fake drunk driving
Yeah.
things. And then
Never
they
heard
say,
about
"Oh,
a
well."
private judge, though.
What's that?
Never heard of private judge, though.
No. See,
No.
that's, well,
You said
one
private
crack,
judge.
baby. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't take me long to go pee.
You guys never heard of private judges?
No.
It's essentially like a judge that you hire like a lawyer, kind of.
Oh,
Well, they would call those mediators.
No,
Mediators.
Yeah. Mediators are supposed to be unbiased. I know because I've been through mediation many times. Because I like suing people. I don't put that stuff public because it's none of your business what I do in my private life. Right? But
It's true.
it's a pastime that I find that I hold dear to my heart. All right, so you guys are interested in the private judges. Let's see what I can find.
Oh, and I do know for a fact, Kent, that when Lindsay was on the show this morning, she told a few fibs.
Oh, let's not cover that on Crack Babies.
Okay, I'll just let you know.
When he shuts down, we'll talk about it, either on yours or mine or wherever we end up.
I did a little research after the show because something wasn't sitting with me right.
I believe it.
yeah, I'll probably be shutting down in like 45 minutes so I can go work out.
Okay. Do you want to watch this? I don't know if this is going to be enough information. I just want you guys to see an idea of what this lady deals with. They say she's almost at 100K subs. She's a very legitimate lady. I don't think she's a lawyer or nothing. She's just an advocate, right? And she helps parents and stuff. Like their kids were taken away by the court system and shit, right? So go ahead and share the screen if you don't mind. Please.
Oh, it's up there.
Yeah. Take your time, sir. Take your time.
Oh, I thought I put it up there. Oh, my bad. Oh, the third one? Oh, shoot.
You brought the other avatar, not the share screen.
Yeah, it takes a while to learn all the buttons, what you got to do.
I think he's doing it on his phone too. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Oh,
I hate it.
Is that you with a Mexican guy right there?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I ain't never seen that one. Oh, all right. My bad. That's a video.
So this is attorney calls police on private judge audit.
And they have to allow public access.
And just to confirm, I know you've already said, I believe twice, but what exactly is Jessica Hood potentially doing wrong, or you're trying to just make sure she's doing correct?
I'm trying to make sure she's following the private judging laws.
This is Susan Bassey, and for the last few years, we've been investigating attorneys who are court-appointed in family law cases, either as attorneys for children, known as minors counsel, where they're often publicly paid, or attorneys known as private judges. And that's when two parties and their lawyers agree that an attorney, rather than a public court judge, will hear and decide the issues in their case. And
never heard of that.
have been calling themselves parenting coordinators, ostensibly to avoid the label of private judge and the public scrutiny that comes with it. And after these attorneys denied being appointed as parenting coordinators or private judges, we decided to go to their offices to see if they were following the law.
Hi, my name is Susan Bassey. I'm an investigative reporter, and I'm here because Ms. Huey is now doing parenting coordinations. She's taking those cases, and that's under CCP 638. And that requires her, this makes this her offices a courthouse when she's holding hearings on that kind of issue, and the public has a right to attend. So I'm here to see if she's posting that and where she would conduct those hearings so that the public can attend that.
Is there a number that we can contact you? Or?
The public shouldn't have to ask, and the law firm shouldn't have to contact individual members of the public who are interested in these proceedings. They're supposed to post them at the courthouse and allow public access The public has a right to know when they're holding hearings to decide issues related to custody, child support, or division of community property. And we find that more often than not, they're not posting their hearings. And when we ask about them, they're calling the police on us.
And I know that Ms. Ford, Nicole Ford, is telling clients to use her. And I'm aware of others, and they don't appear to be being posted at the courthouse. So I'm checking if they're being posted, and then that she's following the law after that. Posting the hearings, is aware that this office is a public courthouse. So if she's having a hearing, we need to be able to come in and watch how she conducts that.
Okay, I will go ahead and pass this along.
Okay, great. Thank you.
What is your role?
Me, I'm a legal assistant.
Oh, okay. Are you like a paralegal or
No,
one of
just
her
a legal
admins?
assistant, yeah.
Thank you.
In addition to playing private judge, calling herself a parenting coordinator, Jessica Huey has been appointed in over 240 cases to act as minors counsel. And in those cases, she often bills taxpayers, not just for her time, but for the time of her legal staff. And that means that the public has a right to know what's going on in those offices and exactly what the public is paying for.
A tenant, Jessica Huey, who is appointed as a parenting coordinator. And that means a private judge. And that means she notices her office as a public courthouse. And when she holds hearings, the public is entitled to come to those hearings. So your building, as the property manager, you should probably be aware of that. You can't make locked doors and obstruct the public from gaining access when she's doing her parenting coordinators proceedings. So that's why we were here. We were here to look and see if she's posting her notices and if she's allowing the public into her building. And I'm an investigative reporter, and I'm reporting on that.
Okay. How did you get in the building?
Walked in.
So I'm not really clear on the law, but I would suggest if there is a court involved, that the court issue an order.
Court doesn't need to issue an order. It's the law. If she accepts private judging appointments as a parenting coordinator, which I have, she has to allow us access to come in and watch her hearings.
And I assume that a court would need to confirm that.
No, it's just the law. So if
Well,
you,
I'm assuming that you know the law, but I don't know the law.
I understand
We
that.
own the building, and we don't allow people to come through and without being an invited guest.
then Jessica Huey's not going to be able to take cases that make her office a public courtroom. So
I'm
that's a
assuming
tenant
you're
issue.
going to.
See, the great thing about coming to your show right now, Crack Babies, because you don't have a show. We only have like 1 to 3 people watching, so we don't lose half the people because they find this boring. I find this very important, but people don't even realize that this is going on. And then this person goes out there to try to figure out, okay, this person's registering as this, they're billing the public for this. Are they following the public access and posting laws about this? She comes over here, nobody has a clue what's going on, but they're going to tell her what she has to do.
What state? Do you know what state this is?
If I was to guess, it's California.
Oh.
Because I know she's ran into San Joaquin, right? And she's against all of this nonsense. Like that a lawyer can take your kids away.
Yeah, that should be against the law whatsoever. Like,
yeah, but then she's just coming to try to check up on this newly registered private judge. And now she shows up here and everybody's like, well, we don't know anything about the law, even though we're a law firm, and also get out.
Nah,
that seems like a cover up, right?
Yeah,
Sounds
of
like
course.
just like the community leering center.
Yeah, she's basically a Somalian.
Right. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying, like, this is stuff I've been knowing about for over 6 years. I've talked to some of these people. I don't think I ever talked to Susan. But, like, we know what's really weird to me? Freaks me out. When I meet someone like this, and they're like, yeah, I know who you are. And I'm like, really? Because to me, these people are like, yeah, you always supported me and love. I think that they don't even remember me, but they do. So, that's why I try to tell people, comment on our videos, stuff like that, because it makes us recognize that we actually are doing something and not.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, because people do need to see this and learn about this. This is something I never knew about, and so if I didn't know, I'm sure somebody else doesn't know
I
about
get
private
you.
judges.
Well, see, and it takes so much time to teach
But that-
everybody about this shit. Good.
Yeah, that's why when you said California, it makes sense. So they are kind of squirrely.
They're not even,
Most-
they're not even in the United States.
I mean, most of the other states I've been to, I've never heard of this terminology. That's why it threw me off. So it must
Exactly.
be a one.
I might be wrong, but I'm guessing California just because I know that her and San Joaquin meet up to go record quite often, and he lives in California, so that's the only reason I know.
Report that to the court and.
I'm a reporter. I report articles and I write articles.
Okay.
So I will be doing that. And I also have social media platforms and I will be doing that
I
as
mean,
well.
again, I'm not saying you're right or you're wrong. I just got reports that you were here without being invited to be here, and that's kind of the question that I have. And
So the public is always invited to public proceedings.
I'll assume that you're correct on that, and I'll talk to Jessica about it. And if that's the law, then she'll have to make a decision as to whether we really can't accommodate the public coming in here. And you know, obviously she has her private office.
That seems like a you problem, bitch.
Like the private office, if people in their private office, that's up there.
I understand that. And I'm saying, I'm a reporter that follows the law and the cases. And so if she's accepting and soliciting business as a parenting coordinator, she's obligated to post where she holds hearings for that. And
She
so
posted that they're having it here.
she hasn't done her paperwork properly at the court, which is what I'm investigating. But when she does, and she has to do that, then she has to make it these offices, and she's been using her office address for those private judging appointments. So I will get you the paperwork. If you'd like to give me your business card, I'll send you the paperwork on that, because it does sound like you have a conflict with your tenant.
Don't forget, this is sped up. She's not being
Courthouse.
a dick.
I've encountered this many times.
And I did put the states in the back chat.
For what, private judging?
Yes.
Oh, okay, but I just wanted to show you guys that she's not speaking really fast like Rob, nor to try to be a dick. I have it at 1.25 speed. She's speaking like a normal
Okay.
person. Right? That's why I slowed it back down. Listen, she's not berating this guy.
And actually, Chuck, there's 30 states that actually have it in the United States. I looked it up.
Really? I only found those that I put in the back. It only showed me those.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Okay. And no shade. I love both of you. I do. I appreciate you coming to my show. I come to your shows. No disrespect at all. But I know more about American law and shit than almost all Americans. It's sickening. You guys are pretty smart when it comes to law and rights and things like that, the two of you, in all honesty, compared to most Americans. But it's shocking when I run into Americans like Ryan Radical Coder, and I try to have a conversation with him, and he knows nothing about the laws in his own country. And it's like, dude, by the time I was your age, 33 years old or whatever, I knew more about American law than you, and I'm fucking Canadian.
Yeah, but this is something that we're not even taught growing up as far as like private judges.
I wasn't taught it either.
Like today is literally my first day of hearing this. Yeah.
Well, I brought it up, and you guys didn't know what it was. I was like, well, okay, maybe
Learn something new. Learn something
Take a
new.
look. Oh, I could teach you a lot of stuff.
I'm not looking to do that. I'm looking to understand.
None of it's gay.
And I'm happy to explain.
Oh, good.
That's the case, and she needs to provide access. We need to understand what it is and how that impacts and decide, well, you can or you can't do that. It sounds to me like she shouldn't be doing that. Whether she's noticed it properly or not, I'm not sure. But let me talk to her about it. You know, it sounds like she needs to talk to the court and figure out what is entailed with what she's doing and whether that it's appropriate for her to do that here.
Who called you about us? Her or
One of our other tenants just said
Mr.
that
Orlando?
there were some people here in the
So I'm just going to speed it back up now that you can see she's not talking fast.
common areas.
So I'm a reporter and I knock on doors and I go places and I just asked Mr. Orlando if he would also like to comment. And I also did a live stream from this building too.
Okay, what reporting do you work for?
So I'm an independent investigative reporter and my articles are published online in the Davis Vanguard. And then I have social media platforms as well. My name is Susan Bessie. Do you have a business card?
I don't.
And what is your
I can
name?
give you my name and my email.
Okay.
I'm Nick Adamson. I'm the building owner's manager.
Okay.
This is my office.
Okay, it's a pretty office.
Thank you. So again, I'll talk to her about this.
Okay.
You know, again, if she decides that she's going to do this, and she's required to provide public access.
See, this lady's kind of one of my heroes. I don't really have heroes, but like as to how to conduct yourself, that's why if you see my videos when I'm recording the police and stuff, other than that one traffic stop, I'm usually really cool, right? Like, cause this guy's just some stupid old man. He don't know what the fuck is going on. Don't mean you got to get into a fight with him.
Well, he's
Fucking
listening to her though.
What?
He's
But I'm saying, you know what I'm talking about, chili, stuff like that. There are ways
Oh,
you
yeah.
can do these things
Yeah.
without half enough. Not that I agree with the way that the cops act, but anyway, sorry, crack baby.
No, you good. That's it. You said pretty much what I want to say, so yeah, you continue.
Well, no, listen. No different than I said about the cop that pulled me over, and I'm Batman, and blah blah blah. You know, when Chuck Rage quit.
Oh yeah.
If I expect that, then I also have to give that grace as well. Right? So I wouldn't just start yelling at this guy like some people will. It's not necessary. Right? Just anyway, let's go.
Yeah, and he's actually receptive to what she's saying.
Yep.
Yeah, it's about communication. You have to be on the same understanding. And of course, one person might not always be on the same understanding, but if you can get on that same focus level, then it'll always make it better.
All I'm saying is I like how she conducts herself. Now, I will tell you that there's another video. I was following her long before that. But she went into a room where you see records, like court records or whatever. And she had her phone with her. And she had every right to have her phone with her and to take pictures of the records. Right? Like you're allowed to inspect and make copies of blah, blah, blah. Like that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They beat her up and broke her hand to try to stop her from having her phone in that room. Now, this is like 5 years ago, right? So like she has a reason for doing what she's doing.
Is this the same one? No, it's not the same one that's comes on your show.
No, I've never met this lady yet. No, I did invite her for an interview a few times, but I don't put a lot of work in. Like if somebody doesn't like say, hey, I need to, be on your show. Like Damn Man was receptive to it. So I put a little bit of effort into it, but you gotta put some effort into it too, or else I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking about the other lady that not is it Barbara? It might not be Barbara, but I remember you showing the video of her getting beat up by a law enforcement not long ago.
No, this was a long time ago. This was 5 years.
All right.
I don't know if Claire's coming back. Yeah.
Then she'll need to either decide to let you into her office or post it someplace else.
That's right.
Common areas, not.
And she can do that. She can say, I'm going to hold my hearings at ABC address and not hold them here, but the public is entitled to notice whenever she's holding a hearing as a private judge. She should know the law at CCP 638.
After taking on the highest number of minors council appointments, Jessica Huey started soliciting business from other minors council who would tell their clients to hire her as a parenting coordinator. And in an email to us, she claimed that she had never been appointed as a parenting coordinator, but we found otherwise in the court files. And as a parenting coordinator, acting as a private judge, she had a duty to make sure that her office could accommodate the public who might want to attend her proceedings, where she was being privately paid to do the job of a public court judge. But instead of giving us evidence that she was following the law, her office or somebody associated with it called the police on us.
I think one of the tenants called. I'm the building manager. Okay. And
Hi.
I'll let her explain.
I'm Susan Bassey. I'm an investigative
There you
reporter.
go. You're the one that they're talking about.
Who called?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. That's why we're here to figure that out.
So we talked to the building manager. I'm an investigative reporter.
Okay.
And Jessica Huey is getting appointed as a parenting coordinator, which makes her a private judge. And that makes her address a public courthouse. Yeah, she's
What?
a record store.
Oh,
She comes with me. Yeah, she's my dog.
Oh man, she's a senior. It's so
She's
girl.
16.
I was like, she can tell she's a senior.
Yeah, she is. So we're just leaving. I've done what I needed to do. I went and asked John Orlando for comment on a story that I'm doing. He's in this building. And then I also,
He's not with you, correct?
no, he's the building manager. So we've already just talked about,
Yeah, let me just.
yeah.
Yeah, we're just here to figure it out because I believe someone that's not here called in because I believe the person that called saw you through the camera, they recognized you. They did say that was your name that you just said right now.
It was probably Jessica Huey's office.
I'm not 100% sure again.
Mhm.
And also,
To be clear, attorneys who are doing the job of a public court judge and being privately paid for it are not following the law. And they are using more public resources to call the police on us when we're investigating that.
so I am curious why they called.
In addition to calling the police, these attorneys have regularly tried to get restraining orders against our news gathering activities.
And I don't believe anyone in this actual building has a restraining order against you. So as of now, it sounds like you're good. I'm just curious to know why they called. I wasn't sure if you're causing a scene or maybe you're.
I'm doing my job. I'm an investigative reporter,
Oh, okay.
and Jessica Huey is appointed as a parenting coordinator under CCP 638. And she, that means that she becomes a private judge. And the case issues move from the public court to her offices. And she's required to allow the public access to her hearings, and she's required to post those hearings. And I was coming to see if she was following the law.
And what was the name of that lady that you just said?
The code,
Or the lady that you just mentioned?
Jessica Huey, of the law offices of Huey and Gamble.
And you were just here to make sure she's following the law?
Yep, I'm here investigating that and John Orlando, who does custody evaluations.
Okay. And do you mind me asking, who do you work for exactly?
And for those of you who follow this platform, you know that journalists work for the public. And we're going to continue reporting on these attorneys not following the law and then calling the police on our news gathering activities because the First Amendment protects the business of the free press.
I was on my way out, the building manager stopped me.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So
So you didn't get to investigate?
I did.
Oh,
I
you did
spoke to her
investigate.
paralegal or her
Okay.
legal secretary, and it didn't appear she had any notices. There's a barrier to the door, which means that the public's coming here for a hearing.
Yeah.
And I just spoke to the manager, and he said if she is taking those assignments, she may not be able to do them here in this building because this building doesn't want to allow public access, and they have to allow public access.
And just to confirm, I know you've already said, I believe twice, but what exactly is Jessica Huey potentially doing wrong? Or you're trying to just make sure she's doing correct?
I'm trying to make sure she's following the private judge and that she's posting her cases at the courthouse, that the public has access to see them, to the court files. So when an attorney becomes a private judge instead of a public court judge, the attorney then moves the case out of public court and their offices become the new courthouse.
Yeah, that's corruption at all levels. I don't know what else to say about that.
I get you. And then that's why I say that people who cause a scene, like unwarranted. Now, I think that like a lot of people think that Joe Cool is like too mean or whatever. I think he's not mean enough. And I've seen instances where a lot of people, including myself, might have just took the charge and fucked up a whole bunch of shit. But then Joe Cool took the high road. So, I think he's actually mild. If you see how I've treated the cops the last 2 times I interacted with them and they gave me the fine and shit like that.
Are you talking about the videos you showed, I guess, last night or the night before?
When everybody left it. But so like I think that what's happening is warranted at that point. When Joe Cool does it, when I do it. So
I'll just say there's some auditors that push the line to where I'm like, all right, you're being a pest. You're going to people's house, getting on their private property, getting on their front porch. At that point, you're being a nuisance. At that point, you're being a threat. And at that point, they have the right to do whatever. If they already told you once or twice to get off the property, that means after that point, you're trespassing.
all right, so I went through my Rolodex of the million videos that I've seen, and I'm assuming that you're talking about Long Island Audit when he showed up to Buddy's house.
I think it was
his overtime pay.
You got the video?
Yeah. And then the
I
guy
can't
came out
remember.
with the gun and said, "I'm a motherfucking New Jersey State Trooper."
That might have been it. That sounds like it. I remember scrolling past it on freaking Instagram last year. I can't
I'll
remember
find it.
exactly.
I'll show you. Hold on. I don't know how to word it. It's not. He wasn't really attacked. Oh, right. They spit on him. Yep. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Spit on what?
Oh no, I was saying yeah. 'Cause that's I remember that. Yeah.
When he spit on him?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yep.
Like to me, that was too far. Like, dude, don't go to nobody else.
Okay. But they're allowed to show up at your house?
If they have a warrant, yes.
What if they don't have a warrant? They just want to talk to you and your kids and your family members. And then when your son was on his way to school the morning before and he was just making sure that he was okay walking to
say it.
school and they had to talk to him, that's all perfectly fine. There's nothing illegal about that, right?
No, they're not supposed to talk to the kid without the parents being right there or
Oh
some
no,
type
they're
of guard.
allowed. They're allowed.
Well, I
There's
could
no
have sworn
law
up.
against it. They're not questioning them. They're just driving. It's like, hey, how's it going?
But we all know that anybody can put words into ways to where, we weren't stopping them. We were just asking questions about something that basically they're beating around the bush but still trying to get their answer. But I mean, like, do they, but on their own personal time, do they go to the freaking person's house and just antagonize the person even on their personal time? In regular civilian clothes and stuff like that.
But Long Island Audit's a journalist, just like Susan Bassey was, and he's just coming to ask you questions. There's implied consent to me or the mailman or a UPS delivery driver to come up and knock on your door. Once you revoke that consent, we have to leave, and we're okay with that. But to follow us with a gun, screaming at us and spitting on us, that seems like they crossed more of a line than I did by showing up at their house.
Now, am I correct? Now, then him and the officer had like two other altercations prior to that.
Yep.
All right, so that's a difference now. He's intentionally antagonizing that officer if they already had multiple interactions with each other. At that point, he's going over there to antagonize, and to me, it looked like he was using journalism as the cover for doing it and saying, "Oh no, he's going aggressive at me. Oh, you're coming out here with a gun." Yes, if I'm tired of seeing you antagonize me, yes, at some point, I'm going to be done with it.
Kind of like how the cops just show up to antagonize people.
I never said that was right. I've said online plenty of times that there needs to be some type of change as far as within how we police in America completely. Like, we're too aggressive, and like, even when they teach you to be a concealed handgun carrier, like that, you don't initially just shoot. You have to analyze the situation. You can't just go in like you're Rambo. And so law enforcement, I think, to me, they should be more like that, and to where, yes, one might pull out if it's two officers, one pull out the gun, one pull out the taser, but the taser, whoever pulls out the taser, that's the one that goes first regardless. But it also depends on the threat level too, because the force of competency on how they're supposed to be trained on and how security is trained on. You do it based on threat level. And so, like, I guess it just depends on how they decide to throw that particular point in that threat level.
I get you. No, I see. Listen, I don't want Long Island Audit to go to the cop's house, right? But if they're allowed to show up at your house and then they get to be a cop, ruin people's lives, age out and retire, and then just be absolved of any responsibility, and now I'm just not supposed to come to their house if they murdered somebody and, you know, stand outside on the sidewalk outside past their driveway and you know, hold a sign and say this guy's a murderer, you know, then
Protesting is a difference than going all on their property, knocking on the door, camera in their face, and steady
Okay.
antagonizing them, following around. I mean, protest,
then,
yes,
then
protest.
the police should not be allowed to enter your property without a warrant. And I don't mean inside your house. They shouldn't even be allowed to cross that curb.
You know what? I actually agree with that 100%. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
All right.
I'm a person that prefers to call law enforcement as a last resort. They're not the first resort.
I can show you a video I played a couple weeks ago, maybe before Christmas. And it was these college students, and the female came out and she was talking to the cops about a noise complaint, I believe. And the cops were being very aggressive. And then I don't remember exactly how it went down, but the guy, a young fella, came out to the door and he was standing still inside the door. And he was saying things the cops didn't like. And all said and done, I think both of them were arrested, or maybe just he was arrested, but they like literally went through the doorway to arrest him, supposedly for interference or obstruction or whatever the fuck, right? And all he was doing was standing in his doorway talking. If we have police that believe that that's okay, then we don't need police. They're more of a detriment than a positive.
It's hard to, but see, we say we don't need police, but then if you leave people to police themselves, I mean, it won't really get too much better. I mean, maybe communities will police their own, but then it could still start some type of other beef or war or whatnot between just communities and whatnot. So what do we do at that point? Leave it to the military?
What tell me a crime that the police are needed for?
Well, murder. I mean, which I know you're probably. Well, yes, I know a lot.
Okay. So I'll say yes, police can investigate that, but no more random checkpoints. All the resources go into investigating actual crime. Now, if you get in a drunk driving accident and you survive, you're never allowed to drive ever again for the rest of your life.
So this is partially about your video the other day.
I don't know what you're referring
about when you got the checkpoints that you went through.
No, I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm thinking about the 2,600 so far fake DUIs.
So what? I mean, so just let the person get into a wreck, and then we deal with it at the last end after somebody's already died or passed away, unalive, whatever.
Yes.
But we could have prevented it.
How do you know you prevented anything? You just invented that in your head. Oh, somehow we prevented the crime that we imagined might have happened. Maybe.
Well, yeah, because you can never predict if anyone's going to actually drive under the influence or not. And I even seen a study to where it was like some of the tests actually fail. Actually, it might have been a show where some of the tests fails they testing some people that were thought to be under the influence actually wasn't. And so yeah, I mean, I understand tests are flawed.
Right. So we eradicate all that. Now I'm not saying if the cop gets like if because you got the thing where you call, right? If you think somebody is drunk driving or whatever.
No, yeah.
And then they got a report, so they pull the guy over. And they say, "Hey, how's it going?" Somebody called and said, I'm talking about randomized, like you just see a guy in front of you with an out-of-state license plate and you say, hey, I'm just going to pull this guy over and see, and then make up that he's DUI or whatever the fuck, right? Like that shouldn't be happening. You should have to, when you pull somebody over, you should have it on the dash cam that they were swerving and there's a reason why you pulled them over. I don't care about what you think and your hunches, right? So I'm not saying no DUI. So you're acting like I'm just saying no. Everyone's allowed to drink as much as they want. No, I'm saying somebody brought it up the other day that only like 1% of crime is ever solved. Oh no.
What's up, God Soldier?
What up? What up? What up?
We're talking about driving under the influence and how laws and law enforcement. Can you explain it better? Can you explain it?
1 second here. Bear with me. I've been doing something.
No, you good. I'm about to get ready to end in the future because I'm about to get ready to go work out. So, yeah. I just decided to do this test stream and didn't even expect to be on this dang long with the first live. But appreciate it, Tense, for jumping up, though, for sure. Oh, I think he split. Oh, he messing with his other phone.
No, I'm here.
Oh. What's up, guys? So, what you up to?
What's up, brother?
What you up to, bud?
What are you listening to? I hear something talking, but he's muted.
Oh, that's 10th, man. I don't know what he's doing. Hey, we got nothing but good vibes over here, and we just trying to keep it that way, bud.
Yeah, we good. I just want to support you, bro.
I know. Appreciate it, and like I just said,
come up to support you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it. Like I said, I'm about to get ready to end, and probably like the next 3 minutes, literally, so I can get ready to go work out. So
sorry, what did you want me to explain again?
Shit, now I forgot. Fuck me.
Corruption.
Oh, no. My ADHD mind literally forgot. Shit. Fuck it. I don't remember. I'm just gonna end this live right here so I can go ahead and just start working out.
No, brother, you could live your life.
All right.
I think your
Appreciate
friend
it very
realized who I was after.
Yeah, and I forgot that he jumped on your panel that night. And
yeah, no, that's okay. That what I was doing was setting up a recording.
Emily, can you say something real quick? I wish I would have asked you to show your face in the back first, but can you say something real quick?
Fuck niggers, 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 fuck niggers.
Knew it.
Yeah.
And he's probably with your God Soldier friend. Yeah.
Son of a bitch. I knew I should have fucking said show the fucking.
Yeah.
That's why I need to go ahead and listen to the freaking.
That fancy.
Yeah. And I was hoping earlier, I was like, God, please don't let me get my first one in hell. At least it wasn't what Chuck had.
Yeah, that was a nice one, wasn't it? See that?
Yeah, see.
All right, brother. Go do your workout.
Yeah, I'll holler at you later, bud.
Isn't that wonderful that I have that recorded and you can take that down now and not have to worry about it?
Oh,
Hey,
yeah, I'm
live your life,
gonna
brother.
edit it. All right.
Yeah, cut it out. You'll just lose the chat, but there was no chat. So. All right, brother.
Yeah. All right. See you later, bud.
Peace.
Peace. All right. So anybody that just saying that, yeah, somebody decide to just do a little pop up and see. That's why at the beginning of this, I literally said, "Hey, I need to see your face." And of course, I didn't listen to my own advice because I was just so into the topic that, yeah, someone decided to do that. Thank God it wasn't no corn bomb or whatever. But I'm probably gonna try to edit this somehow, or you know what? I don't know what YouTube might do. At this point, I might keep it up. I don't know. But till then, y'all have a nice night. Crack baby out.